Hello, chronic illness warriors. Welcome to the Going Beyond Coping channel. I'm Dawn Super, and I help people cope with chronic illness or pain. Today is Motivational Monday, answering the question, how are you? People are always asking that question, and people with chronic illness or pain often don't know how to answer it. Before I get started, I wanted to remind everyone to subscribe. The little orange thing there, if you are on the PC and can see the orange thing, if you click on that or even just hover over it, you'll see that you can subscribe to the channel. If you're on mobile, if you click on the Going Beyond Coping name, you can subscribe there. Subscribers will help more people who are trying to cope with chronic illness and pain hear my messages of coping thinking outside the bottle, outside of medication and diet and exercise. The things that happen in our head greatly affect our symptoms and make them worse in many cases. So I've learned that over the last 8 years of doing experiments with my life, and in talking to friends and in the Positively Narcolepsy group I run on Facebook and through Messenger, my stories help people think a little bit differently than they had in the past. So that's why I'm doing this. I have 9 of my own disorders, and I keep going beyond coping into thriving and loving my life, even if only sometimes. And I want other people to be able to experience that as well. So, subscribe. The first thing I want to talk about is happy does not equal recovered, fixed, cured, or anything else. Happy only equals coping. You're happy, you're coping. So try not to let other people's perception of how good you look, because damn, you look good, but you don't look sick. Nope, sure don't. But I've got like probably 7 symptoms going on right now, and I just don't let them be my focus. I let other people know what I'm dealing with is ongoing for life, and the people closest to me know I'm almost always struggling with something. So we just don't talk about it. But when you're out at these holiday parties, it's the holiday season, and you may be going to your own holiday party, or your spouses or your partners have been invited to one, or be working one, or what have you, and you're going to run into people that you have to communicate with. Some of them you'll know, some of them you'll know well, some of them you'll be related to. And for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to talk about people that you know, who know you have chronic illness, but when they see you and you look great, they think you've fixed yourself somehow. So the first thing I want to start with is a quote. I'm going to show it for a second, and then I'm going to read it because it's a long one, and I don't want to pull the card back if you're still reading it. Okay, I can't read upside down and backwards. Don't you dare shrink yourself for someone else's comfort. Do not become small for people who refuse to grow. So, people who refuse to grow, what does that even mean? It means if people can't grow their consciousness enough to understand that people who live with chronic illness deserve to be happy just as much as they do, that's a lack of growth. If people who are around you can't comprehend a well-documented disorder with thousands of videos of people who suffer from the disorder on the internet talking about what it's like to live with it, and they still can't wrap your head around you, that's their lack of growth. If people think that you haven't been fixed because you didn't follow their advice to do yoga or something else that goes counter to what you want to do with yourself, that's lack of growth. So shine anyway. That's my message to you. If they can look at me and say, oh, that she doesn't have anything wrong with her, despite my telling them my experience, I just don't care anymore. I mean, I did for a long time, but I just don't care anymore because I'm in this faulty meat suit. I know what it's like to live in here, and no one else can. And it's the same for all of us. Even people who have the same disorders as I do don't have it the same way that I do. The things that help me may not help them. There are so many variables that go into something like that. And if people can't expand their minds enough to comprehend that, then it's not really your job to teach them. Just keep going on with your merry little life. So, to answer the question, so how are you? You want to set up your reality and end on a good note. Okay, so what does that look like? Now, you're going to want to put all these through the you filter because these are my things that I'm saying, and you may not want to say it the same way. So here's one here. It's a hard life to be sure, but I'm handling it well. Or I'm handling it like a champ. Or I'm handling it with grace. That's a good one. I'm handling it as best I can. The last one seems a little not as good as the others, but if that's your reality, put it through the you filter. Say the thing you're comfortable saying. Practice a few times with a good response that makes you feel good about what you've said and how they've responded. Don't be afraid to tweak things. If you're at a party and you're talking to 10 different people, you can try 10 different ways to say the same thing and see which one gets the best response. And then just keep doing that. But don't shrink. Don't let other people make you feel bad that you're having a good night for a change. Because we know in here it doesn't happen often. Here's another good one. Well, my body is still fighting the good fight, but mentally I'm good, right? So there we're letting them know that we're still battling our illness, but up here we're coping very well. That helps when you have chronic pain, especially because I don't want to talk about my pain. I don't want to say how my shoulders hurt right now or my lower back is bad, or I don't want to have to tell people that, because that takes my focus away from this holiday party where I'm having a good time and puts it on my pain, and that just makes it more noticeable. So I just want to get them to understand that nothing's changed for me physically, but mentally I'm dealing with it. Another way to say that is, well, chronic illness is a day-to-day thing for life. I mean, for me, it is anyway. Today's a good day, though, so yay! You know, don't be afraid to celebrate the fact that you're having a few good moments. And don't be afraid to let people know that you're enjoying the fact that you're having a good moment. Someone comes up to you at the party and says, oh, you're looking better. Like, what does that even mean? But if they say to you, you can say, yeah, it's a good moment right now. I'm feeling good right now, and I'm enjoying that. And leave it at that. Fortunately, even on my bad days, I can still find a reason to smile. So craft something for yourself that you feel comfortable with. It's good to arm yourself ahead of time for situations that can bring on anxiety for you, or make you feel less than, or make you feel judged, or make you feel like less confident or insecure. If that's your experience on a regular basis, or even just like at this particular event, then be prepared. Think outside the bottle about your symptoms, because if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling judged, if you're feeling lack of confidence, and you're not doing something about that, you're going to get tired faster. You're going to ache faster. You're going to have symptoms more than if you go into it feeling super confident about who you are and how you're walking through the world and your message. Then you're going to have a much better time. And yes, you'll still have symptoms. It's not going to fix you. You just won't be aggravating what's already there. That's it, warriors. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so that it will grow and more people can get the message of coping. If you loved something in particular about this, please feel free to comment. I'd love to hear some responses to the content. And if you're liking it or what have you, that would be great. Thanks so much, warriors. Make it a great day. The choice is always